Archangel Michael says, "Chosen ones, hear this now. God has been waiting for 2 hours to tell you something that your heart has been yearning to hear, though you may not have known it." This is not a message meant to stir fear or confusion, but one that flows from the gentle love of the Father who created you, shaped your soul, and placed His divine light within you long before you opened your eyes to this world. God has been whispering to you in quiet moments, in the pauses between your worries, in the silence that often follows your tears, but the noise of life has made it hard for you to notice that it is His voice calling, His presence surrounding, and His love waiting patiently for you to turn your heart back toward Him. Type Amen if you believe. He has been watching every step you take, not with judgment or disappointment, but with deep compassion and an everlasting tenderness that never grows weary. Many of you have carried heavy burdens, believing that you are walking alone, believing that your prayers have gone unheard, and that heaven has been silent to your pain. Yet even in your darkest hour, the Lord has been beside you, waiting with open arms, not asking for perfection, but simply longing for your return, for that quiet surrender that says, "Father, I am here, and I still believe." The angels have seen your struggles, the sleepless nights, the doubts that pressed against your faith, and the fears that tried to silence your hope, and still, heaven has not turned away, because you are not forgotten, not abandoned, and never unseen. Like this video and subscribe to this channel if God means everything to you. The Lord's love is not measured by the things you have done, nor is it lost when you stumble or fall, for His love is not fragile like the affection of man. It is steadfast, endless, and pure, stretching beyond your faults and failures into the deepest parts of your being, where His light still lives, even if dimmed by sorrow. There is no wound that His mercy cannot heal, no sin that His forgiveness cannot wash clean, and no distance that can separate you from the embrace He longs to give. Every tear that you have shed has been caught by His grace, and every prayer that trembled from your lips has been heard by His heart. You were chosen not because of your strength, but because of His purpose. You were called not because of your perfection, but because His divine plan requires your light, your story, your faith, and your willingness to rise again. You may have questioned why the trials came, why doors closed, and why loneliness seemed to echo through your days, but even those moments were shaping you, humbling you, and preparing you for something greater than you can yet imagine. The Lord never wastes pain, He turns it into strength. He molds your tears into wisdom, and He breathes new life into what once felt broken beyond repair. What if you could unlock a secret brain wave that top scientists discovered inside the hippocampus, the very switch that signals wealth and abundance? Hidden from the public for decades, this breakthrough can rewire your mind to attract prosperity faster than you imagined. Picture the stress of bills replaced with financial freedom and new opportunities. Every delay is a missed blessing, and those who act now are already walking into the wealth you deserve. Step forward before the door closes. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate this ancient money wave and step into abundance today. There is a sacred stirring happening in the heavens, a movement of grace that is sweeping over those who have been weary and forgotten, those who have felt unseen and unloved, and those who have prayed through storms without seeing the light of dawn. This is God's reminder that your time of restoration is near, that the battles that once seemed endless are nearing their completion, and that the purpose behind your suffering will soon be revealed in beauty and joy. The angels have been sent to comfort, to guide, and to strengthen you, to remind you that you are never walking alone, and that heaven rejoices every time your heart whispers His name. Type 2323 if you trust in God. So now, beloved one, lift your eyes once more toward the light that never fades. Let your heart remember the promises whispered to your soul long ago, when you first believed that love could heal anything, that faith could move mountains, and that peace could live even in the middle of chaos. Those promises were not forgotten, they are still alive, waiting for your trust to awaken them again. Do not let the world's noise drown out the quiet voice of God that still calls you home. Let His presence wrap around you like the warmth of morning light, gentle yet powerful, soft yet strong, reminding you that even now, even in this very breath, you are loved beyond measure. The Lord has been waiting, not in impatience but in love, giving you time to find your way back to His truth. He wants you to know that your life still carries divine purpose, that your existence still has meaning far beyond what you see. The path may have been long, but His mercy has walked with you through every step. So come as you are, without fear, without shame, without the weight of yesterday's mistakes. The heavens are open, and the arms of God are wide, waiting to welcome you back into peace, where your spirit can rest and your faith can breathe again. And now, as these words reach you, know that they are not random or coincidental, for nothing of God ever is. This message is your reminder, your sign, your quiet awakening that heaven is near, that hope is not lost, and that love is still calling your name. Rest in that truth, let it fill your heart with warmth, and remember that you are chosen, cherished, and held by the one who will never let you go. This is the voice of heaven, reaching deep into your spirit, asking you not to rush past this sacred pause, but to let it sink in and soften the places in your heart that have grown tired, uncertain, or distant. God has been waiting, not with impatience but with love, because He knows the weight you've been carrying, and He wants you to know that you were never meant to carry it alone. Keep watching until the very end, for these words are meant to touch your heart with peace. There are days when the soul feels heavy, when your thoughts race, your heart aches, and the world seems too loud to hear anything beyond the noise. And in those moments, it is easy to believe that God is far away, that your cries go unnoticed, and that maybe, just maybe, you've fallen too far to be found. But even in that silence, when it feels like heaven has closed its doors, God is closer than the air around you. He does not leave you when you're weak. He doesn't walk away when you're struggling. He stays, quietly watching, gently waiting, deeply loving. You may think your faith is too small, that your failures are too many, or your past too messy, but none of that changes how He sees you. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are not defined by your pain. You are not forgotten, overlooked, or cast aside. You are seen. You are held. You are known completely, and yet, loved endlessly. That is the kind of love only God gives, one that looks at your wounds and still calls you worthy, one that sees the ashes of your past and says, I can make something beautiful here. Type 555 to receive miracles. There is a beauty in your brokenness that heaven sees, even when all you feel is weakness. You have walked through storms that no one else fully understands. You've faced nights of sorrow where words failed, and only silent prayers remained. And still, here you are, still breathing, still believing even if only a little, still hoping that maybe there is more to come. That spark inside you, that tiny flicker of faith that never quite went out, is not small to God. It is precious. It is holy. And it is enough for him to move. God does not ask for loud prayers or perfect lives. He does not need your strength or your certainty. He only asks for your heart. Even if it's hurting. Even if it's guarded. Even if it's full of questions and scars. He takes it gently, with no rush, with no demand, and he begins to restore what the world tried to take. His love reaches into every shattered part and quietly begins to heal. Not always quickly. Not always the way you expect. But always with purpose, and always with care. He has placed angels around you even when you could not see them. He has ordered steps ahead of you even when you felt lost. He has whispered peace into your soul even when your thoughts screamed with worry. And now, he is asking you not to turn away, not to close your heart again, not to give up just because the journey has been hard. This is not the end. This is not where your story fades. This is where the light begins to break through again. There is a reason you are still here. There is a reason you are still reading this. Heaven is not silent. God has been calling you through it all, and this moment is his reminder that your life is part of something far bigger than your pain. You are a chosen one, not because of what you've done, but because of who he is. And he has chosen you for a purpose filled with redemption, hope, and light that will not be dimmed by the darkness you've known. So even if you feel worn out, even if you feel unsure, even if you feel like you have nothing left to give, know this: you are not too late. You have not missed it. God has been waiting for this very moment, not to scold you, but to bring you close. You don't need to earn his love. You already have it. All he wants is for you to open your heart, even just a little, and let his love do what only it can: heal, restore, and make all things new. What if a simple 7-minute sound frequency could awaken a forgotten brain signal designed to pull wealth toward you like a magnet? Backed by shocking CIA files and neuroscience, this discovery is now changing lives everywhere. Think of debts melting away, promotions arriving, and abundance flowing freely. This is the one moment that can rewrite your future, but only if you claim it now, because hesitation will only keep you chained to the same struggles. Click the link in video description and comments below to experience the hidden wealth wave and let your financial destiny shift in your favor today. The angels are still singing over your life. The heavens are still invested in your journey. And God, your Father, is still writing your story with hands that know how to turn sorrow into joy and ashes into beauty. So breathe, chosen one. Let this message wrap around you like a soft blanket on a cold day. You are not forgotten. You are being called back to the place where peace lives, where love is real, and where hope never runs dry. This is the heart of God for you. This is your moment to rest in him again. Long before your first breath, he whispered life into your spirit and marked you as his own, setting you apart in a world that so often tries to dim what he made to shine. The truth is, even when you forgot him, he never stopped thinking about you, never stopped loving you, and never once considered letting you go. There is a gentle ache in the heart of God when his children begin to doubt how deeply they are loved, especially when that doubt comes from the weight of life pressing in too hard for too long. He sees the pressure, the exhaustion, the endless striving, and the quiet tears you never tell anyone about. He sees when your spirit feels worn out from trying so hard to stay strong, to keep believing, to keep hoping in a world that can be so loud with cruelty and quiet with compassion. And He knows how much you need His peace, not just to calm the storm around you, but to silence the storm within. Type yes to affirm. He's not angry with you for the moments you doubted, or the times you cried out in confusion, wondering if He was really listening. He doesn't turn away when your prayers are laced with pain or when your heart struggles to find the words at all. He leans in closer, always closer, because that's who He is, a loving Father who draws near to the broken-hearted, not because they are weak, but because they are precious. You don't have to be fearless for Him to love you. You don't have to be perfect for Him to stay. His love is not something you earn, it's something He gives because it is the very nature of who He is. Every breath you take is proof that His grace still surrounds you. Every sunrise that greets your eyes is a quiet reminder that He's not finished with your story. And every time your heart longs for more, for peace, for healing, for a love that does not fade, it is His Spirit drawing you closer, softly reminding you that He is what your soul has been searching for. You were made to know Him, not just in distant reverence, but in the kind of closeness that fills your empty spaces with belonging and joy. You don't have to carry everything alone anymore. You don't have to pretend you're not tired. You don't have to keep hiding your wounds behind a brave face. God already knows the things you don't say, the fears you keep tucked away, and the battles no one else sees. And still, He loves you fully. He loves you with a love that stays when others leave, a love that comforts when words fall short, a love that reaches into the shadows and brings light without ever shaming the darkness you've walked through. Let your heart soften now, even if it's just a little. Let the truth sink deeper than the lies this world has tried to build in your mind. You are not unworthy. You are not too broken. You are not forgotten. You are a child of the Most High God, and nothing can change the truth of who you are in Him. Not time. Not failure. Not fear. His love doesn't wear out. It doesn't fade with time or grow cold when you struggle. It stays. It remains. It holds fast. You may not have seen the breakthrough yet. You may still be waiting for the promise to come to life. But know this, God has not stopped moving just because you haven't seen it with your eyes. His timing is never cruel. It is always purposeful. And sometimes, the waiting isn't punishment, it's preparation. He is making a way, even when the road feels hidden. He is aligning things for your good, even when all you see is delay. And He is holding your heart in His hands, not just so it won't break, but so it can learn to beat with hope again. So rest, chosen one. Let this moment be enough. Let these words remind you of what your spirit already knows, that you are loved beyond all reason, that heaven has never taken its eyes off of you, and that your story is still being written by the author who never leaves anything unfinished. There is more ahead. There is healing on the way. There is joy that will return. And above all, there is a God who is still choosing you, still calling you, and still believing in the beauty of what He placed inside your soul. Type 777 if you walk by faith. Archangel Michael says, "Chosen ones, there is something holy about the quiet moments when your heart finally begins to realize that it has never been alone, even through the pain, the silence, the confusion, and the deep ache that words never quite captured. God has been there all along, not as a distant watcher but as a loving father who felt every heartbreak, saw every tear, and never once stopped holding you through the storms that seemed to have no end. He was never disappointed in your struggle, and he never withdrew his love when you felt like you were losing your strength. Many of you have been walking through seasons that felt like wilderness, places where nothing made sense, where prayers seemed to echo into empty skies, and where the days felt too long and the nights too quiet. But what you did not see were the hands of God holding your soul together, even when it felt like everything around you was falling apart. He never asked you to walk through it alone. He never expected you to carry the weight without him. And even when your faith felt small, it was still enough for him to pour out mercy upon mercy, grace upon grace. There is a reason you were kept. There is a reason you made it through. There is a reason the fire didn't destroy you, even though it came close. That reason is not found in your strength, but in the goodness of God, who chose to protect you when you didn't even know you needed protecting. He is not looking for the perfect child who never doubts, never fears, never falls. He is longing for the open heart that, even after falling, still looks up and whispers, "Lord, I need you." Your wounds do not disqualify you. Your past does not cancel your calling. The road you took might have been broken, but God is the one who walks even broken roads to reach the ones he loves. He has always seen the potential in you, even when you could only see the pain. And now, he is calling you again, not with force, not with fear, but with gentleness and deep compassion, reminding you that you are still his, and he still has more for you than you've dared to imagine. What if the missing piece to financial success wasn't luck, but a hidden frequency inside your brain waiting to be switched on? Once activated, this ancient signal unleashes waves of prosperity, opening doors to opportunities you never thought possible. From sudden windfalls to long-awaited breakthroughs, it's transforming lives daily. Want to see how? Click the link in the video description and comments below to tap into the Money Magnet brain wave and begin your journey today. Others are already awakening this hidden signal and watching their lives transform. Do not be the one left behind while abundance passes you by. The world may have tried to convince you that you are small, that you are not enough, that your voice doesn't matter, and that your dreams are too far gone. But those were not the words of heaven. God has never spoken to you in shame or hopelessness. His voice always brings peace. His voice brings you back to yourself. His voice reminds you that you were created with purpose, that your life still matters, and that your light is needed here. He is not finished. Not with your story. Not with your healing. Not with your purpose. There are pages yet to be written, moments yet to be lived, joy that you have not yet tasted, and peace that is on its way to your heart. The waiting has not been in vain. The delays have not been for nothing. God has been preparing you, shaping you, teaching you how to hold on, how to trust deeper, how to stand even when the ground beneath you shakes. And now, he is whispering again, gently but clearly, asking you to lean in, to stay close, and to remember who you are. Type Amen if you believe in God's power, and share this video with 5 people to invite peace, blessings, and miracles today. You are chosen, not for a life of ease, but for a life of meaning. You are chosen, not because you are better, but because you are willing. You are chosen, not because you have all the answers, but because your heart still says yes, even when it's trembling. That yes, however small, is enough. Heaven can move mountains with a mustard seed of faith, and what you offer, even in weakness, is powerful when placed in the hands of the one who holds eternity. So if you've been doubting, if you've been wandering, if you've been waiting for a sign that you haven't been forgotten, this is it. This is your reminder that God is still for you, that His love is still surrounding you, and that the angels have never stopped watching over you. The weight will lift. The light will return. And your heart will heal. One step at a time, one breath at a time, with God walking beside you every inch of the way. Type 333 to welcome blessings. Archangel Michael says, "Chosen ones, as the heavens lean close to you now, let your heart begin to rest, not because everything around you makes sense, but because the one who holds your future is near, and He has not forgotten the cries you whispered into your pillow when no one else saw the breaking of your soul." You may not have realized it then, but the Spirit of God sat beside you during those moments of silent sorrow, gathering every tear with gentleness and understanding, never rushing your healing, never turning away from your pain. There is something holy about your life, even when it feels unremarkable. There is something sacred about your journey, even when it has been filled with valleys. God does not measure the worth of a soul by the accomplishments the world praises. He looks at the resilience of your heart, the quiet ways you keep believing, the moments when no one sees your battle, but you keep choosing love, keep choosing faith, even in the dark. That is what heaven celebrates, your endurance, your hope, your courage to rise again when everything in you wants to give up. You have walked through fire that others will never understand, and though you carry scars, they are not signs of defeat. They are marks of survival, of grace, of battles won in silence. Your pain has not been wasted. Every hurt has shaped your compassion. Every trial has stretched your strength. And every lonely night has drawn you closer to the heart of a Father who sees beyond what you show the world. He knows the depth of your soul, and He calls it beautiful, even when you feel fragile. There is no shame in your story. God is not surprised by your past, nor is He disappointed in your weakness. He knew who you were long before you knew how hard life would get. And still, He called you. Still, He chose you. Still, He marked your name in the book of life with love that cannot be erased by fear, failure, or time. You are not standing at the edge of rejection, you are standing in the middle of redemption, held by hands that never let go. The world might try to bury your light under the weight of comparison, expectation, or judgment, but God is gently uncovering what has always been within you, a spirit created for something greater than mere survival. There is a strength in your softness, a purpose in your pain, and a calling in your very breath. You were born with eternity in your heart, and no darkness can undo the light that was placed there by the one who made you. Even now, as you read these words, heaven is stirring with the songs of angels who have been watching over you since the day you arrived in this world. They have not left you. They have guarded you in accidents that never happened, in illnesses that were healed, in decisions that were shifted, and in countless moments where grace intervened without your knowledge. You have never been unprotected. You have never been truly alone. And you never will be. Let the truth reach you again, not the truth shaped by pain, or fear, or the voices that spoke against you, but the truth shaped by love, by mercy, and by the unchanging heart of God. He says you are loved. He says you are worthy. He says you are still enough. Let those words sink deeper than the wounds, deeper than the doubts, deeper than the years you felt unseen. Because they come not from man, but from the one who knows you completely. Type 1212 if you believe God is guiding you. You don't need to prove yourself to Him. You don't need to be strong all the time. You don't need to have all the answers or the perfect faith. All you need is the willingness to say, God, I'm here, and I still believe you are good. That simple truth opens the door to healing, to peace, to new beginnings you never thought were possible. The Spirit of God is already moving, already working, already preparing something beautiful in your life that will come not from striving, but from surrender. You are still chosen. Not because you've done everything right, but because His love never fails. Rest in that. Trust in that. Let your weary soul be lifted by the arms that carried the cross and still carry you, day after day, moment by moment, breath by breath. This is not the end. This is not all there is. There is more for you, and it is good. God has not changed His mind about you. His love is steady. His promise is sure. And His heart is forever yours. Archangel Michael says, "Chosen ones, as your heart receives these words, let the weight you've been silently carrying begin to fall away like dust in the wind, for the Lord who made the heavens and the earth has not only been watching your journey, but walking it with you step by step, breath by breath, tear by tear. He has not kept His distance from your struggles, and He has not waited for you to become perfect before He called you His own. He has loved you through every moment of doubt, every mistake, and every time you felt unworthy of His attention, and He continues to love you with the same steady passion that spoke creation into being. You may not have felt it, but there were moments when His hand gently shielded you from harm you never even saw coming, when He softened the blows of life just enough so they would not crush you, and when He placed a quiet strength within you to keep going even when you thought you had nothing left. That strength wasn't born of your own will, it came from the Spirit of God living inside you, the same Spirit that never sleeps, never grows weary, and never gives up on what God has claimed. There is something sacred about your endurance. Heaven sees it. You've been walking through seasons that felt dry, empty, and stretched too long, and still, you have held on, even if by a thread. That thread matters. That little bit of hope you refuse to let go of matters. God treasures the smallest flicker of faith, and He moves mountains for hearts that still whisper yes, even when everything in them feels like saying no. He does not need grand gestures from you, He only asks for your heart, open and willing, even if it's bruised. He is not the kind of father who expects his children to earn His love. He is the kind who loves first, who gives without condition, and who stays even when you push Him away. You might not understand why some prayers went unanswered, why some paths led to pain, or why certain dreams seemed to fall apart just as they were forming, but in the silence, He was building something deeper. He was anchoring your soul in something unshakable, something that couldn't be taken away by disappointment or delay. What if you discovered a tiny, walnut-sized brain region holds the secret to endless wealth and success? Recently uncovered by groundbreaking research and once buried in classified files, this frequency is now available to anyone ready to listen. Imagine replacing worry and struggle with a life of financial ease and freedom. Interested? Click the link in video description and comments below to unleash this hidden brain wave and start attracting wealth right now. You have been guided to this message for a reason, and if you turn away, the chance may not return. This is your time to step in. You see, God is never in a hurry, but He is always on time. And while you've been waiting, He's been working. Not just around you, but inside you. Healing things you didn't know were broken, softening places that had gone cold, and breathing life back into the parts of you that had grown numb from the weight of trying to hold it all together. He sees your heartache, and He does not minimize it. He sees your questions, and He does not turn away. Instead, He meets you in them, with compassion, with peace, and with a promise that none of your pain has been in vain. Type 888 to open doors of abundance. What the enemy tried to use to break you, God is now turning into the very foundation of your testimony. What was meant to silence you will become the song of your soul. What nearly destroyed you will become the place from which others find healing. Because that's what He does, He takes broken things and makes them whole, not in a way that hides the cracks, but in a way that lets the light shine through them. He has been waiting, not to punish, not to scold, but to embrace. To remind you that you are not forgotten, not too far gone, and not disqualified from the beautiful plans He still has for you. There is grace for every mistake. There is mercy for every failure. There is peace for every restless thought. And it all flows from the heart of God, who has never stopped believing in the beauty of who you are becoming in Him. So breathe, child of God. Let the fear fall away. Let the shame release its grip. Let the love of your Father sink deeper than the lies that told you that you were too much, too late, or not enough. You are exactly where He knew you'd be, and He's already ahead of you, preparing the way, making it straight, and filling it with purpose, no matter how winding it may seem right now. You don't have to be perfect to be held. You don't have to be fearless to move forward. You just have to trust that the God who brought you this far isn't finished yet. And He isn't. Not by a long stretch. There is beauty ahead, joy ahead, healing ahead. And there is more love than you've ever known waiting for you with every step you take toward Him. Let this be your moment to rest in that truth. Let this be the day you begin to hope again. Archangel Michael says, "Chosen ones, there is a quiet and sacred truth that God wants you to receive with your whole heart today, something not wrapped in thunder or grand signs, but something tender, soft, and deeply personal. He wants you to know that your life has always mattered to Him, even when you couldn't see it, even when the world tried to convince you that you were invisible, and even when the mirror of your own heart could not reflect the beauty He placed within you when He first formed your soul. In a world that moves fast and loves conditionally, it's easy to forget that God's love is not like anything we've known. It doesn't come and go with mood or time. It does not vanish when you're struggling or grow cold when you're slow to respond. His love is constant. His love is patient. And His love has been chasing after your heart every single day, not to demand from you, but to give you rest, healing, and peace that nothing on earth can offer. There have been many moments in your life where you've had to be strong. too strong. Carrying pain without telling anyone. Smiling when your soul was breaking. Showing up when all you wanted was to disappear. And yet, through it all, you remained. That quiet endurance, that soft yet stubborn refusal to give up entirely, that is the strength God placed in you. It may have felt like weakness at times, but in heaven's eyes, it is courage. It is faith, even when you didn't know you had it. And it has not gone unnoticed. Type 1010 if you trust in God's timing. You may not realize it now, but every battle you've walked through, every valley you've crossed, and every tear you've cried has been shaping something beautiful within you. Not just strength, but compassion. Not just perseverance, but wisdom. Not just survival, but testimony. There is power in your story, even in the chapters you've wished you could skip, because those are the very pages where God's love carried you most fiercely, where His mercy covered you, and where His grace was poured out over your pain like oil over wounds. He has been walking with you in ways you did not see. In the silence, He was listening. In the confusion, He was guiding. In the fear, He was surrounding you. And when you thought you had no one left, He was holding you together with unseen hands that never grow tired. God does not abandon His children. He doesn't walk away when things get hard. He moves closer. He speaks softer. He stays. There are things you've lost that you thought would destroy you. People who walked away that left deep scars. Dreams that shattered without warning. And still, here you are, heart still beating, soul still reaching, spirit still longing for something more. That longing is not empty. It is your spirit remembering its home. It is your soul responding to the call of heaven, reminding you that you were never made to find your worth in this world, but in the one who made it. And now, in this moment, God wants to remind you that you are still called. You are still anointed. You are still chosen. Even if you've messed up. Even if you've wandered. Even if you've questioned everything. His calling on your life does not expire. His promises don't depend on your perfection. He is not waiting for you to have it all figured out. He's waiting for you to rest in Him, to lean into Him, and to believe once again that He can make something beautiful out of what felt broken. You don't have to perform for God. You don't have to impress Him. You just have to let Him in. Into the hurt. Into the fear. Into the silence. He already knows it all, and He still chooses you. Every single day. His love is not afraid of your scars. His presence is not pushed away by your pain. In fact, it's in those places that His love often shows up the strongest, quietly healing what you thought would never heal, gently restoring what life tried to steal. Let this be your reminder, your anchor, your quiet hope: God is still working. Even when you don't feel it. Even when the days are long and the nights are heavy. He is writing a new chapter. One filled with healing, joy, and the kind of peace that doesn't come from understanding but from knowing you are deeply and completely loved. You haven't missed your moment. You're not behind. You are right on time for the grace that is unfolding in your life right now. So exhale, chosen one. Let go of what you were never meant to carry alone. Let your heart lean back into the arms that have never dropped you. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are held by the one who will never stop loving you. This is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of something new, something holy, something beautiful. And heaven is with you, every single step of the way. Type 1414 to step into divine protection. Archangel Michael says, "Chosen ones, as the light of heaven continues to reach for your heart, know that this moment is not random, and these words are not simply meant to comfort you for a day, they are meant to awaken something eternal in you that has been quietly waiting beneath the surface of your sorrow." God has not just been waiting 2 hours to tell you something, He has been patiently waiting through every year, every season, and every silent prayer you barely had the strength to whisper, just to reach this sacred moment when your soul would be still enough to receive what He's always wanted you to know. What if I told you financial freedom is not about working harder, but activating a dormant brain signal designed to draw abundance directly to you? Neuroscience proves this sound wave unlocks prosperity faster than any method known before. From unexpected cash to life-changing success, it's already helping thousands. Imagine looking back tomorrow wishing you had acted today. Do not let regret replace the miracle that is calling you right now. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on the ancient money wave and create the life you've always dreamed of today. You have walked through shadows that felt endless. You've stood in rooms full of people yet felt completely unseen. You've tasted disappointment more times than you ever thought you could endure. But what you might not have noticed is that, through it all, something within you refused to let go of hope. Even if that hope felt distant. Even if it was only a flicker. That flicker matters. That flicker is holy. Because it kept your soul connected to the voice of God whispering, "I am still here." There are things you've carried that no one else has understood, silent battles that wore you down in ways even you don't have the words to explain. Yet every time you rose again, every time you chose kindness in the middle of your pain, every time you extended grace even when you were desperate for it yourself, heaven saw it. The angels stood beside you. And the Father smiled over you with a love that did not depend on your strength, but simply rejoiced in your willingness to keep going. You do not need to have everything figured out for God to move in your life. You do not need to fix yourself or reach some spiritual level of perfection to be held by Him. He meets you in the middle of the mess, in the middle of the doubt, in the middle of the ache that lingers long after others have forgotten your struggle. That's where He works. Not just in the miracles that look big and obvious, but in the quiet healing that begins when your soul lets out a sigh and finally believes, maybe, just maybe, you are still loved. And you are. You are loved in ways that cannot be undone. You are loved not because of your past or in spite of it, but through it. God sees every chapter of your story, and still, He looks at you with nothing but affection. You are not a disappointment to Him. You are not too late for His purpose. You are not disqualified because of your pain. You are exactly where His love is about to meet you in a deeper way than ever before. He has seen how long you've been waiting, for answers, for peace, for relief, for restoration. And while you've been asking, searching, and hoping, He has been building something beautiful in the silence. He has not been ignoring your prayers, He has been shaping the timing with wisdom beyond what your heart can fully grasp right now. But one day, you'll see. One day, the waiting will make sense. One day, you'll look back and realize that what you thought was delay was really divine protection, preparation, and love. So please, chosen one, don't give up. Don't let the weight of unanswered prayers convince you that you've been forgotten. Don't let the lies of the enemy convince you that God is done with you. He's not. In fact, the stirring you feel in your spirit right now is proof that something is shifting. Something is being released. Something is beginning to bloom, even if you can't see it yet. Type 666 if you believe in God's grace. And even if you feel tired, especially if you feel tired, know that it's okay to lean into Him and say, God, I don't know what to do, but I'm here. That small act of surrender is enough to unlock the floodgates of heaven's compassion. He doesn't need your strength, He just wants your heart. He wants to remind you that He's still with you, still for you, and still writing a story over your life that no pain, no person, no past can erase. Let your heart breathe here. Let His peace begin to soak into the cracks that life has carved into your soul. Let His love pour over every broken piece and every weary place. You have not missed your chance. You are not beyond healing. You are still covered in grace. This is your moment to remember who you are, not because of anything you've done, but because of the one who made you and called you good from the very beginning. Archangel Michael says, chosen ones, if only you could see what heaven sees when it looks upon you, your heart would be overwhelmed not with shame, not with fear, but with a peace so deep, it would quiet every anxious thought and soothe every wound you've carried in silence. God sees you completely, not as the world sees, not through the lens of your shortcomings or the weight of your past, but through the eyes of mercy, through the eyes of a Father who delights in His creation and longs to bring you into the fullness of His love. There are parts of your heart that have gone numb, places inside that you've shut away because life taught you to protect yourself, to not hope too much, to not trust too easily. You've survived things that others don't know, losses that never made it into words, heartbreaks that you had to keep going through while pretending you were fine. But God knows. He knows everything you've never said out loud. He's never overlooked your pain. He's never misunderstood your silence. He has waited for you, with a love so patient it cannot be measured, not even by time. Some days it may feel like your faith is fading, like the light inside you is flickering too faint to matter, but God sees even that flicker, and He calls it beautiful. He is not disappointed in your weakness. He draws near to it. Because He doesn't need you to be strong for Him to love you, He just needs you to be real with Him. To open the door a little. To say, I'm here, Lord, even if I don't know what to pray. That is more than enough. He comes running when your heart opens, even just a little. You've been carrying questions that have no answers, watching dreams slip through your hands like water, and wondering if the promises spoken over your life were ever truly meant for you. And the truth is, they were. They still are. God doesn't change His mind about you. His promises don't expire because of delay. If He spoke it, He will do it. But sometimes, before the promise comes, He first prepares the soil of your soul, digging up what's been buried, pulling out what doesn't belong, and making space for something new, something holy, something beautiful to take root. That's what He's been doing. even in the wilderness, even in the silence, even in the times you thought He had forgotten you. Heaven has been preparing you, not punishing you. And now, the Lord is calling your name again. Not with pressure, not with shame, but with the voice of perfect love, the kind that says, "Come as you are. Let me be your rest. Let me heal what the world broke. Let me carry what you were never meant to hold alone." He sees the tiredness in your spirit, the heaviness in your thoughts, and the longing in your heart for peace that lasts longer than a moment. And He is that peace. He is the answer the world cannot give. He is the place where your soul can exhale, where your wounds can breathe, and where your past can be rewritten by grace, not erased, but transformed into something that shines with redemption and hope. Type 1919 to embrace healing. So take a breath right now. Let this truth soak into you. You don't have to earn God's love. You already have it. You don't have to chase His attention. You already have it. You don't have to prove your worth. You are already worthy, because He made you, and what He makes is never worthless. He calls you beloved. He calls you redeemed. He calls you His. And even now, as you sit with these words, He is drawing near, not with noise, not with pressure, but with peace. With the kind of quiet comfort that doesn't need to explain itself, it simply wraps around you and reminds you that you are safe. That you are seen. That you are still in the hands of the One who spoke the stars into the sky and still chooses to dwell in the heart of someone like you. You are not forgotten, chosen one. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are exactly where God knew you would be, and His mercy is still enough to carry you into the next chapter. Let go of the fear. Let go of the weight. Let go of the need to have it all together. Just rest. Just breathe. Just let Him love you. He's been waiting for this moment, and He's not going anywhere. Archangel Michael says, "Chosen ones, you who have been walking through this life with quiet strength and heavy hearts, hear this now. God has seen every moment you've felt like giving up, every time your hands have trembled from holding on too long, and still, He has not moved away from you. Instead, He's been moving toward you, again and again, gently and patiently, because His love is not shaken by your exhaustion. It's not reduced by your doubts. It's not conditional on your understanding. It simply is. Constant, faithful, and deeply personal. There is something precious about the moments when all you can do is sit in silence and hope God is still near. Those are not wasted moments. Those are sacred ones. Those are the spaces where the veil between heaven and earth thins, where God doesn't come with thunder or lightning, but with a whisper, a stillness, a warmth that starts at the center of your soul and says, "I know. I see. I'm not going anywhere." What if everything you've been chasing, wealth, freedom, success, could be drawn to you automatically, simply by unlocking a secret brain wave hidden inside you? Once classified by intelligence agencies, this discovery is now available to the public, and it's changing lives instantly. Picture yourself debt-free, stress-free, and thriving. The window is open, but not forever, and every second you wait is wealth slipping from your hands, so grasp it now. Click the link in video description and comments below to awaken this money magnet frequency and watch abundance flow into your life today.